once again to another episode of RPMbassy. My name is Mark. Today we're going to be doing just a little quick one looking at a box set that I have in my collection that I think is absolutely screaming for a repressing, and hopefully will receive one in the future, because if you look on Discogs for this, it's going for absolutely silly money. So what we're looking at today is the official soundtrack vinyl for Okami. Now this is a video game that was released in 2006, and this pressing was released in 2018, distributed by Data Discs. This is not the full soundtrack, but a sort of select soundtrack from the game. There's about 60 tracks on the 4 discs that this comes with, as you can see, full box there. The original soundtrack for the game was around about 220, 230 tracks. It's a huge soundtrack, but this is sort of none of the fluff, none of the messing around. This is just the good stuff, really. But it does pretty much cover everything that I would sort of have wanted from the soundtrack to be on a vinyl release. And obviously you can't expect to fit 200 odd tracks onto a box set. That would cost hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So as it is, this was £65 at the time of release, and as I said, it goes for silly money now. If you look on places like Discogs and stuff like that, I think the medium price is trending about £400, which is absolutely obscene. So as I say, this is screaming for a repressing or a re-release. Hopefully Data Discs do get on that at some point. I know they kind of have that habit of not repressing stuff. You know, I guess it's kind of nice that it's exclusive, and yeah, I've got a nice fancy thing that no one else does, but at the end of the day, I think the opportunity to allow more people to have access to it and to be able to bring it into their collection is probably the more beneficial thing. So as I say, this is a selection of songs from the soundtrack with contributions from all 4 of the game's composers, those being Masami Ueda, Hiroshi Yamaguchi, Ray Kondo and Akari Groves. And as far as the music itself goes, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic music, and it's a really good vinyl listen as well. It's essentially all traditional Japanese classic music, so it's got that kind of folksy Japanese music vibe to it. There's a lot of like pipes and big sort of reverby kind of sounding things, very wide open sounding, which is, I mean, excellent. And obviously if you've watched any of the videos on the channel, that's kind of the stuff that I really lean towards, so it's no surprise that I love this. Obviously it fits itself very well in the game as well. If you haven't played the game, I do recommend it. The music itself really adds itself to the game, really kind of adds and lends itself to the atmosphere and just the overall experience. It's one of those classic arguments for video games being art and stuff like that, so definitely do check it out if you're into gaming. As far as getting the soundtrack in other formats, it's still available if you want to buy digital, of course, and you can pick that up fairly easily and fairly inexpensively if you want, and it's good enough for a soundtrack that you don't need to have played the game to still appreciate it. As far as soundtracks go, I think this is really up there with some of the greats. Certainly if we do a soundtrack countdown, which I really think we should, this will definitely feature in there. So hopefully we do that list at some point, because those lists are always super fun to do. But yeah, let's get into the box set. So there's the cover, as I've shown you. We have 4 discs in here, as well as an art book. So we have 4 discs, and these in particular are pressed on a sort of clear, kind of opaque but not opaque vinyl, like a frosty colouring, as you'll see in a moment. There we are. It's really beautiful with the pink label as well. I really love that. Absolutely adore how those look. Very simple, but really nice and understated. And then each record has obviously got its own liner, so you've got different artworks for each piece. And there we are. And obviously you've got the individual track listing on the back there. Now for the other bits and pieces, you've got sort of an art card inside with some additional credits as well, talking about mastering, etc. And then the art book itself, which is, I think, absolutely phenomenal. The sort of prints and pieces in here, really stunning stuff. Absolutely love this kind of added bits and pieces that you can get on records and things, and they really kind of add to a box set if these things get included. So I mean, as I said, £65, it's not an inexpensive amount of money for the original pressing, but it is a really nice collection. It's a really nice bundle. I think if this does get a repressing, it is one of those things that I think a lot of people will clamour to get, so keep an eye out for it. I don't know if it's ever going to get repressed, but this, regardless of whether you're a fan of the game, if you've ever played it, this is genuinely a fantastic piece of art to have. It's a fantastic collector's piece. The music is phenomenal. You don't need to have played the game to enjoy it. It is really well crafted, really well composed. It sounds very good as a vinyl. I just think it's a fantastic collection to have, a fantastic box set to have. And as I said, as far as soundtracks go, this is definitely up there with some of the best that have ever been made. So yeah, if you're at all interested in soundtracks or video game soundtracks, definitely check this out. Even if you haven't played the game, I recommend giving this a listen in some way, shape or form. Doesn't matter what format, just listen to it. You're going to enjoy it. Everybody that I've ever shown has found this music fantastic. It is phenomenally put together. It's phenomenally recorded. The pressing itself is really nice. The collection that it comes in is excellent as far as I'm concerned. The art is of high quality. The printing is of high quality. Everything just feels very premium and excellent. If you have the option to ever find a copy of the vinyl collection, I suggest jumping at it. It's, in my opinion, one of the best box sets, and certainly as far as video game soundtracks go, I can't think of another box set which even comes close to how well put together and how much sort of care in terms of selection has gone into it. So yeah, if it ever gets a repress, absolutely jump at the chance to pick it up. Even if you're not a fan of it or you've never heard of it, please do give it a shot. Anyway, that's going to be everything for this week. Just a little short one. Hopefully we see a list of soundtracks fairly soon in the future. But for now, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.